I spent around 3 months completely locked in my own body, and I describe it as the most terrifying thing I've ever experienced. My name is Clodagh and I'm from Macclesfield, and I had my stroke at 35 years old, and as a result I was left with locked-in syndrome. I remember waking up in intensive care and I was completely paralysed from the tips of my toes to the top of my head, and I wondered what had happened to me, and a nurse, seeing I was awake, told me that I'd had a stroke. I spent 2.5 weeks in intensive care and then was moved to the acute stroke ward in the Royal Victoria Hospital, and then spent a further 7 months in the rehabilitation unit in Musgrave Park Hospital. When I had my stroke, as a result of my stroke, I developed locked-in syndrome, and that left me completely paralysed. Every part of my body wouldn't move or engage with me, no matter how much I wanted it to move. But I was still Clodagh, still the same person. I could still think, feel, hear things going on around me. I still had the same emotions, hopes, dreams, fears that I had before stroke, and that was completely terrifying. I spent around 3 months completely locked in my own body, and I describe it as the most terrifying thing I've ever experienced. But slowly I began to recover. I began to make some noise and I started to move slowly, and that began a really long, slow process of recovering from stroke. When I was discharged from hospital, it was really difficult for me. I would say that my well-being and mental health had really deteriorated. Statutory services stopped very quickly when you're discharged from hospital. But into that darkness and times that I found really difficult came Northern Ireland Chest, Heart and Stroke, who gave me the gift of hope. Northern Ireland Chest, Heart and Stroke invited me to their prep class post-recovery exercise, and I remember initially feeling like I was too young to go to a stroke group, but I was encouraged by my sister to go. And when I went to that class, I really felt supported. Not only was there a physiotherapist there, but staff from Northern Ireland Chest, Heart and Stroke, but I was there with other survivors who understood just how devastating a stroke was, and together we could share stories of just how stroke had devastated our lives, blew it apart. But in sharing those stories, we each offered each other a little bit of hope, saying that we would rebuild our lives, and that's what Northern Ireland Chest, Heart, Stroke gave to me in those classes, that hope that I would recover from stroke.